Hi guys, my name is Mr. Knott. I'm Director of Fine Arts and Director of Bands here for Caldwell ISD.
Hi, I'm Quade Anderson. I'm a drum major for Caldwell ISD.
And I'm Sierra Zamora, and I'm also a drum major for Caldwell ISD.
Chapter 3, Problems, Problems, Problems. Without Gavin having any say whatsoever, the details of his little job are arranged. The next morning at breakfast, he finds out all about it. They are sitting at the table, and Danielle is pouring the last bit of juice into her glass, all the way up to the brim as she laughs to herself. He ignores her and protests. "Danielle, look at all that juice." His father says. He's reading the newspaper and sipping his coffee, and Gavin knows he's not really listening. Then he hears the tiny clicks on the hall tiles growing louder, coming toward the kitchen. Next, Gavin hears his Aunt Myrtle's voice. "Careful with that, Vester. Oh, just take my cases upstairs." Then Carlotta rounds the corner and stands expectantly in the kitchen doorway, panting, her little face surrounded by grotesque orange fur that looks prickly enough to cut someone. She stares at Gavin, then one side of her thin black dog lip curls up, and Gavin hears the low, throaty sound. "Now don't do that, Carlotta." Aunt Myrtle clucks and reaches down to scoop up the dog in her arms. She tickles her stomach and coos, "There's my baby," she says with her pursing lips. Gavin wants to gag. It's almost as worse than eating peas. His mother appears and ushers Aunt Myrtle to the area behind the children's gate blocking off the back porch. "Here, Auntie, this is what we have set up for Carlotta." Aunt Myrtle looks over the straw basket where Gavin's mom usually keeps the newspapers. It has been nicely lined with an old baby quilt. She sniffs and gives Carlotta a squeeze as if to protect her. She sits down at the table with Carlotta. Gavin's eyes grow big as he looks from his mother to his Aunt Myrtle, then back to his mother again. His mother turns to his father with an expression on her face that Gavin knows is a cry for help. Gavin can feel his father sighing to himself. He gets up, walks over to his aunt, and gently takes Carlotta from her arms. "I'm sure Carlotta is going to like her new quarters," he says. He places the dog on her new bed on her back porch. Carlotta scratches the quilt for a few moments and then settles down with her head resting on her paws. She looks at Aunt Myrtle as if she's pleading her case. Aunt Myrtle, with her grim-set mouth line, says, "I'd like some tea, please. That is, if you have tea." "Of course." Gavin's mom jumps to turn the burner on under the kettle. This is what Gavin learns from Aunt Myrtle while she sips her tea. She isn't hungry for anything else. Gavin will walk Carlotta once a day after school, so he must come home right away. No messing around. If, and this is a big if, he performs his job satisfactorily, Aunt Myrtle will pay him enough to replace Danielle's snow globe with something like it. "Though, I know you can't replace the exact snow globe," Aunt Myrtle adds, looking over at Danielle with sympathy. "I got a snow globe in New York City at a choir fest," Daniela says. Gavin rolls his eyes and doesn't believe for a minute that Danielle is still mad about that dumb snow globe. She's just happy about his troubles. Gavin is for sure. He looks over at Carlotta. She's up on her short legs, turning around and around in a folded quilt. It would be much better if she were a real dog, something way bigger, something that could be a true friend. At least Carlotta is ignoring him and not giving him mean, threatening looks for now.
When Gavin enters the classroom of his new school, Carver Elementary, he sees that his teacher, Miss Shelby Ortiz, who does not know how great he is at timetables, soccer, and skateboarding, has assigned problems, problems, problems as the morning journal topic. He stares at it. Then he thinks about Miss Shelby Ortiz's two names. He'd heard one of the bossy girls, Deja, explain to her friend Nikki that modern women, up-to-date women, like keeping their own names now, the names that they grew up with. Nowadays, Deja had said, women don't have to have their husband's names at all, and that's the way she's going to do it. When she grows up, she's going to keep her own last name, or stick it together with her husband's name, just like Miss Shelby Ortiz. Gavin doesn't know if he likes that Deja girl. She reminds him too much of his sister, Danielle. Other kids are staring at the morning journal topic too. Richard, the cause of Gavin's troubles, isn't even bothering to look at it. Gavin can see he's playing with some rubbery thing on his desk. Danielle would call Richard a knucklehead. From Gavin's seat behind him, he gets a pretty good view of the array of toys Richard brings to school. Miss Shelby Ortiz seems pleased with the topic she's come up with. She smiles encouragingly at all the students who are getting ready to write. I chose this topic because I realized that math is like life. How is it like math, class? Oh no, Gavin thinks. He hopes that she doesn't start calling on kids and get around to him, because he definitely doesn't know how life is like math. Two points for the table of the students who tells me how life is like math. Miss Shelby Ortiz has them sitting at cooperative desks of 4 groups, which she calls tables. They are competing all week. Then, on Friday, the winning table earns a big gold star on the winner's board. At the end of the month, the students at the winning table get to put their hands in the grab bag and extract a reward. And they aren't cheesy things like pencils and erasers. They're different kinds of prizes like small magnifying glasses, kaleidoscopes that can fit in your pocket, and miniature tic-tac-toe sets. Now the hands begin to fly up. Suddenly, Gavin knows exactly how life is like math, and he just bets that most of the answers the other kids are going to give aren't going to make sense. And there's going to be a bunch of people who don't even have an answer but are raising their hands anyways. He might as well put an end to this right now. He raises his hand too. But Miss Shelby Ortiz is busy giving some of the knuckleheads a chance. Because it takes 365 days to get through a year, Ralph calls out. Miss Shelby Ortiz looks at him for a moment. No, she says slowly, frowning just a tiny little bit. Then she looks over at Richard, who uncharacteristically raising his hand with a calm look on his face. She calls on him and cocks her head challengingly. Because you all the time have to be solving problems just like in math. Gavin feels himself deflate a little bit. That's just what he was going to say, and he thought he was the only one thinking of it. Miss Shelby Ortiz looks especially thrilled. That's right, Richard, she says, beaming. That's exactly right, class. Think about it. In life, you solve one problem after another. No one's life is problem-free, so I want you to think of a problem that you have right now and how you plan to solve it. Let's have some input from before you're going to write. She looks around at all of them. Gavin looks around too. Some kids still look puzzled. Others look eager to begin. Who wants to go first? That stuck-up girl, Antonia, raises her hand. Miss Shelby Ortiz calls on her. Yes, Antonia? I have a problem to solve. Go ahead. Tell us what it is. My grandmother is coming for a visit. She always brings me a gift that... She pauses, searching for the right words. I don't like her presents. They're never anything I like. I want to ask her to skip the present and just give me the money that she would have spent instead. Gavin sees Miss Shelby Ortiz's face go from interested to puzzled. Her lips even part in amazement. Antonia, that would be rude. No one gives gifts to cause displeasure or unhappiness. When someone gives you a gift, they're really trying hard to make you happy. If you say that to her, your grandmother will look back on all the gifts she's given you over the years and think that perhaps you never liked even one of them. You can't solve your problems by hurting someone's feelings.
Antonia feels about this. She looks thoughtful, like she's planning not following Miss Shelby Ortiz's advice, like she's going to put her plan into action anyway. Antonia's probably thinking that she, Antonia, knows best. Class, Miss Shelby Ortiz says. I'm sure you know what I want you to do, so let's get started. Why do teachers always say let's and we and are like they have to do the assignment too when they don't? Gavin thinks. It's just something he wonders. He opens his journal, which has a lot of blank pages since he's new to the school. On the cover is his name written by the teacher in neat block letters. He puts the date in the upper right-hand corner of the page, just like Miss Shelby Ortiz has instructed the class to do. Of course, there are those who have to be told to do this every day. Gavin wonders about them too. When he dives in, I have a problem. The beginning of this problem wasn't even my fault. It was this other guy's fault, Richard. He got me in trouble on Saturday. He broke my sister's special snow globe. Now I have to walk this horrible dog to get money to pay for it. She can't even get an exact copy because she got that snow globe in New York, not here. Now I have to walk this ugly dog every day. A dog that's all the time giving me mean looks and showing her teeth and looking like she like to bite me. I have to be with this dog every day, which is too much. My aunt, who's really my dad's aunt, will probably give me just $1 for all my work. I wish this was the last problem I'm going to have in my whole life, but it probably won't be. And Gavin reads over what he's written. He likes it. He's just in time because Miss Shelby Ortiz orders the whole class to stop writing. She has a girl named Rosario to collect the journals, knowing that the teacher's going to read it. He goes back over it in his mind and he decides. He likes what he's written, and he hands it over with pride. Did you get in trouble? Richard asked as they walked the sock ball around in the schoolyard. Yeah, I got in trouble. Now I had to take care of my great-aunt's dog to earn money to give to my annoying sister. That's not so bad, Richard says. Not for you, Gavin says. But I said catch. Gavin doesn't know why Richard keeps saying that. You said catch as if you were throwing it. I didn't have time to get my hands up. Well, can you go skateboarding after school? I told you. I have to walk my great-aunt's dog. What's a great-aunt? It's the aunt of your mother or your father. Richard gave this some thought. She must be really old, huh? Yeah, she's pretty old, Gavin agrees. I know, Richard says. I'll help you. Gavin thinks about this. Just how much help will Richard be? Not much, he decides, but still. He wouldn't mind the company. Okay, he says. Come to my house at about 4. Gavin plans to have his snack before taking Carlotta out. He always comes home after school starved.